Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa. This is Unai Emery's press conference reaction for Preston v Aston Villa in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. And as it draws closer and gets nearer, the more excited I'm feeling. I feel like I've got that FA Cup fever. I feel like it's running through my veins and I'm just buzzing for it, really. So, yeah, it's a big challenge and opportunity for Villa. It's probably not going to be easy. They're going to make it really difficult for us. But, we've got more than enough firepower to get this job done and reach the semi-final. So we've got to apply ourselves correctly. We've got to have the right mindset, the right desire. We can't be complacent, and we've just got to attack this game. So, Villa fans, if you are new, make sure you are subscribing. Let's try and get some new subscribers as we're going into the last part of the season. Smash the likes, comment your thoughts. Let's have a like target of 600 on this one. Right, so Emery's been talking, and we've pretty much got a full squad available. Get in there. Barkley will be training in the next couple of days. So Barkley's back on the grass. So he's back on the grass, and he's the only one that won't be making the squad. There's a couple that are coming back from international duty and training today. So I guess we'll have to just see how they are. But pretty much full squad. And we'll go into that in a second then. So Emery has been speaking. Let's go let's go to what he's been saying about the team news then. So he said, I think the only player a doubt for tomorrow is Ross Barkley. Oh, of course, we are going to train now this afternoon, and with players like Emi Martinez, Leon Bailey, and Andreas Garcia, we will see how they are physically, and hopefully we can keep the players we have now who have been available for the last few months. And the importance of this fully fit squad is that it enables Emery to tackle the last part of the season with all of his options. So for if any given game he wants to rotate someone, he just takes someone out, put someone in. Perfect. Obviously, when you've got injured players, you've got to play players maybe out of position. You've got to play players and not rest them. So it's vitally important that this next phase of the season, that everybody is ready and steps up and does their job. It's so important. He's also been talking about the strength of his squad. 2 years ago, we finished the season strong. We drew against Liverpool and we won against Brighton at home. Last year, we finished the season very tired. There wasn't enough energy and we lost the last match against Crystal Palace. This year, my idea and how we are now planning the rest of the season is to try and finish with full energy, because we've got to attack this next phase of the season. And every single game, whichever direction you look, it's a big game followed by a big game followed by a big one, then followed by a big one. That's the next four. We've got Preston, which is absolutely massive. Then you've got Brighton, which is a 6-pointer, because literally they can go 6 points in front of us. So that is huge. Forest, absolutely massive. And then PSG. So, we're in a position now where the squad's going to have to be utilised. We can't just go, for example, Tielemans, like we have been doing. Tielemans, I want you to play Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday. We've got to rotate these players around a little bit so that we have got the correct energy levels. And I'll just use Tielemans as an example. You could use anyone as an example, but that's just what we've got to do. And it's going to enable us to be fresh for every single game, because we're kind of in no lose territory for whatever game that we're going in. So we've just got to make sure that we're just correct and ready to tackle every single situation, really. So I think the big positives are that the squad's there, and I think that's the biggest thing that we can take from this episode, really. I mean, he's been speaking about Ross Barkley's injury as well, and it seems like it's been a real bad one, and I think he's had a couple of little setbacks along the way, really. So, he said about Barkley that it's been really bad the last 2 months for him while he's been injured. He is now so close to start training with us, maybe even today, tomorrow, or Monday. What I think he means by training is I think he means that he's going to be back actually kicking a ball with the first team. I think he has been pictured sort of um, he has been pictured like training, but he was away in Dubai, so um, yeah, he's back kicking that round ball around. Right, so he's been speaking about he's had a fresh trim as well. Oh, I get good vibe when Emery's had a fresh trim, guys. I feel good. It makes me feel good that he's like he's ready. He's ready. Um, he's ready for action now. Right, so on the international break, he's put, we had a good break, of course. We were working and we were focusing the break to try and improve the players we were working with. Not a lot of players because there were more of them on national team. We used the time as well to analyse the matches. We played deeply to try and do our best in our performances collectively and individually. From now until the last match, we will play hopefully for a long time as well. He's talking about consistency. The season is more or less the consistency we have, but each moment is different. And now we are in another moment. We have individually and collectively to be very demanding because we are working under our expectation, our ambition to get the objective we want for the season. Of course, we conceded a lot of goals in the season and we are being sometimes consistent, but not enough. For example, we didn't lose a lot of matches at home, only one in the Premier League, but we draw a lot of matches. This means we are consistent, yes, but not enough because we are drawing more matches than we needed. Now we are recovering some injured players and we added other players in the transfer window more than normal. And of course, the adaptation has been different for each player. So he might be alluding to Marlon there. Now, today, Friday, the 28th of March, is a key moment. How we are going to face the last months in the competitions we have. Of course, the idea is to try and get better and be stronger defensively like we were before. So, if we can all see where slight issues are, then Unai Emery can as well. So he's talking there. He's thinking about addressing the defensive issues. To be fair, we've had 2 clean sheets in a row. We can get a third. That's building, small building blocks going into the last phase. So I'm returning from the break. He has said the international break is always important for the players as well. When we arrived here, we had not a lot of players in the national team, and we were increasing the players joining with the national team because we are performing well collectively and individually. Of course, it's better. We are here working with every player because we were in Dubai for 4 days and we worked really fantastic with a few players. But we have to use it to get our consistency with the players that we work with. The players, they were on national duty, national team. They were coming back progressively today. Bailey, Martinez, Olsen, and Garcia. Of course, they have to be quick again to reintroduce in our structure, in our mentality, and in our idea, in our match on Sunday to be focused for it. Progressively this week, we were adding the players back and we worked good. Of course, the first thing is to try and identify in our mind our objective. And in the next match, firstly on Sunday, because it's very important, and we try to recover our style, idea, playing. Go on, Unai. And then finally, on the squad freshness, I think I've gone over that. Right, the last bit I haven't. So this year, my objective and my idea and how we are planning for the rest of the season to try and be full of energy again, and every player focusing individually and collectively on the objective that we are going to face. Get us that Champions League, get us that trophy, and beat PSG. Done it. Well done, Unai. Right, some good words from him, like inspiring. He's He's talking about getting the squad back together with his identity, working in our way of how we do things. And, you know, imagine that feeling now for Unai, right? So today's on the training pitch. He's preparing the team that's going to face Preston. And he looks round and he goes, Pau, Onana, Marlon, Bailey. We've got Cash, Digne, Matson, midfielders, Kamara, Onana, McGinn, Ramsey, Rashford, Asensio, Rodgers. He's got all these players now to pick. His job's a lot easier. And with those injured players now being back, we can get consistency. And I do believe that the defense will get better because we'll have all of our players back and there is no sort of like breakup in the line and it can just stay structured, solid. So, yeah, I think from what I'm gathering is that obviously this is approached as another game for Villa. You know, we're not building it up to be this real big thing. It's just a game that we just play, and the objective is a further objective to get to the final. Because interestingly, I was psychologically looking a little bit like what Newcastle did for the final, and Eddie Howe completely stripped back this year's final. He sort of like just made it very normal. And in these big games, you have to just normalize everything. So you're taking away those pressures of making it into a real like big deal, because if you do that, then you're starting to change the different sort of ways in which you do things, the ways in which you travel, ways in which you approach things. So I think it's just important that it's just another objective to just tick off, get done, and go and move forward, because we haven't got time to dwell on anything now. We've got to just hit every single game at it and just get the positive results that we need. So it's really good to hear Unai talking and preparing for the game. So, you know, we've had match preview that's gone down really well. Predicted lineup's gone down well. We did a fantastic opposition preview, which I'll tag on the end of this so it just flows into it. And if you want more content, then you can hear from Ollie, the Preston fan, as well. So, guys, make sure you're subscribing, get on board with the channel, comment your thoughts. How are you feeling about the FA Cup? Have you got that cup fever feeling right now? So cheers, guys. Up the Villa.